what day it is?
Sunday.
Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Mike. What day is it, Mike? Let's guess what today is.
It's hump day.
Hump day, everyone. Welcome to Hump Day in the Doghouse. Now, look, it's kind of weird now because the beginning of the week, the holiday week weirdness is beginning kind of in a little bit today. Not really today, but it's beginning. I mean, we could see the weirdness from here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we could see it from here. And look, since we are going to be off for most of the holiday season, since we're going to be off for some of the holiday season, we are rolling out our holiday fecta for you today. That's right. It's the holiday fecta. And this is a little bit different now. This runs through the college football national championship. It's the holiday fecta. Not to be confused with our regular Friday trifectas that we'll be doing, but this is the holiday fecta with an overnight stay at the lodge at Guntersville State Park on the line in a cliffside room, along with a voucher to the Pinecrest room, along with some Havoc tickets and some other chow as well. Not to mention the huge bragging rights that you'll get. So here's the deal. I've set up a group at ESPN.com's fantasy site labeled Doghouse Challenge. And we have the link up at the Facebook page, my Facebook page. There are X posts about it. If you go to @Thom Abraham Show on the X, you'll see it there. Plus, if you need the link, just hit the text window and I will provide you the link. All right? All you need is a free ESPN.com account to play. So if you say, hey, Doug, if you don't want to go and check it out on the socials or whatever, if you don't want to just go to ESPN.com, click on your fantasy link there, and you say, college football, fine groups, Doghouse Challenge. If you just want the link, I will take a text at 732-982-7469. I will respond with the link, and you can get in and play. You have until Friday night's kickoff of the Notre Dame-Indiana game to get in. Now, here's our show's holiday schedule. All right? I'm not speaking for anybody else. I'm not speaking for the whole radio station. I am speaking for the Thom Abraham Show. All I can speak for is the Thom Abraham Show. Here's our show's holiday schedule. We are off on Friday with bowl games like the day after tomorrow, Friday. We got bowl games all day long. We got Jacksonville State's bowl game. We have got the Florida Gators in a bowl game because we're going to hear all the SEC bowl games that we can get in. So, and of course, we got we got the playoff game between Indiana and Notre Dame that night as well. So we got bowl games all afternoon, beginning in the morning on Friday. So we are off on Friday. We're going to be back on Monday. All right, we'll be back on Monday. Then we're going to be off Christmas Eve through the rest of the week. All right, through the rest of the week. Got to put the kids together, or the kids' toys together, and all that kind of stuff. We're off Christmas Eve, rest of the week. Those of you listening in Huntsville, you're going to have the holiday basketball tournament, the Huntsville Classic, presented by TOC Sport. That's coming up in the Huntsville Hospital, coming up at the end of the week next week. You'll have bowl games in between there. So we're off from Tuesday, the rest of the week. We'll be back on Monday, the 30th. Set you up for Alabama, Michigan. We will set you up for the Auburn. Oh, no. We'll set you up for Alabama, Michigan. And we will set you up for the big day of college football quarterfinal games, which will be on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Then we come back. So we're off on New Year's Eve, Alabama, Michigan. We're off on New Year's Day. It's New Year's Day. All those games will be on our air. And then we come back on Thursday, the 2nd, for good. All right, for good. Well, or until they fire me. Okay. Whichever happens first. Till good or until I'm fired. Okay. I mean, what does for good really mean? I mean, to be honest with you, what does for good really mean? We welcome those of you that are watching on WZZN TV, our YouTube channel, and on the X as well. You can check that out if you haven't yet. As well as those of you that are listening on 97.7 ESPN, the app. And those listening over the air in Winchester, Tennessee, on ESPN Winchester. Lines are open, 256-576-4977. You can also text the show at the aforementioned text number, 732-9TA-SHOW. That's 732-982-7469, which is a great way to communicate with us. My personal X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. Zone is on X at 97.7 ESPN. ESPN Winchester is on X at ESPN Winchester. And speaking of those apps, all right, you want to get those apps. Get the app for the Zone. Get the app for Talk Radio, WZZN. Get the app for ESPN Winchester. Get all the apps, and you get all that great programming. And make sure you keep an eye on the socials and the calendar at 977ESPN.com so you know what games are on when and where. Because, of course, as I said, we've got these bowl games. We've got college football playoff action. We got the NFL game tomorrow night. We have got the NFL games on Sunday, a triple header for you. We have got on Saturday the NFL games on Talk Radio WZZN while we have the college football playoff games on the Zone. I don't know what they got on ESPN Winchester. Plus, there's the Havoc, UAH, Alabama basketball. Oh, I know what they have on ESPN Winchester on Saturday night, the Tennessee Ohio State game. More on that in a moment. But we got UAH, we got Alabama basketball, we got the Havoc, we got all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. And don't forget about your big zone deals. All right, your big zone deals where you can find the link at 977ESPN.com and do some Christmas shopping. This is the best place to do last-minute Christmas shopping because you instantaneously get the certificates, which you can print out, put in an envelope, stick them in the stocking, put them in a box, put them underneath the tree. Get a whole of those great deals. And every day between now and Christmas Eve, we are giving you a special one-day daily big deal, if you will. And today's is Apple Lane Farms in Decatur. I mean, what a great place to get stuff for the Christmas dinner. All right, Apple Lane Farms are in Decatur. All right, so check that out. Right now, you can get $50 worth of Apple Lane Farms for just $15. It's incredible. Take advantage of it. It goes away tonight. That's it. On the Sports Talk Radio show today, Justin Ferguson from the Auburn Observer coming up at the bottom of the first hour. Auburn very active in the transfer portal. Talk to them about that. And then at the top of the hour, David Moulton of Miller and Moulton in the Morning. He jumps in as well. We're going to get both of those guys' picks for the Doghouse Challenge, for the bracket. We're going to get both of those guys to pick all the way to the end of the bracket. So you can hear that as well. We will have the Falcons and the Giants on Sunday, and Michael Penix Jr. will be the starting quarterback, as the Falcons have pulled the trigger on Kirk Cousins with a brief announcement. This was the announcement, all right? This was the press release from the Falcons. The press release was, quote, after review, we have made the decision Michael Penix Jr. will be the Atlanta Falcons starting quarterback moving forward. This was a football decision, and we are fully focused on preparing the team for Sunday's game against the New York Giants. We are on to Cincinnati. No, he didn't say that. I mean, he didn't say this week. They didn't say he's going to start. We didn't say that. Moving forward. Alrighty then. $100 million guaranteed for 14 games, half of which were won, half of which were lost. So what do they do next? What will they do next? I mean, Cousins is 36 years old, and he would be an ideal backup because he's got a good brain, and he can come in and do some damage, and you got a quarterback that's on a rookie contract for the next couple of years. So you can grin and bear it. If Penix is any good, you could say, well, the money's all in the backup. He's kind of like a coach, and, you know, our offensive coordinator already kind of sucks, so maybe we'll make him, maybe he learned something from Kevin O'Connell, the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, who, by the way, can we give that guy more love? I keep saying he's the most underrated coach in the NFL. He's sitting at 12-2 right now. The dude had Kirk Cousins for however many years, 3 years or something over there, and turned him into an MVP caliber quarterback. He got him generational money. Kirk Cousins. And then Cousins leaves. He takes Sam Darnold off the scrap pile And then what happens? Sam Darnold's playing like a Pro Bowl player this year, and they're 12-2 because J.J. McCarthy went down. Who knows if J.J. McCarthy's any good? They got Sam Darnold, who hadn't done anything, anywhere, anytime. Kevin O'Connell is just that good in Minnesota. And keep in mind, the Falcons make this move coming off a road win, albeit over the Raiders, which are a grease fire, but it was a road win. And they are now only one game back in the division with the Giants and the Panthers left at home and a roadie to Washington. So 9-8 should be kind of a lock, really. That should be is probably as close to a lock as you can have. You got the Giants and the Panthers at home and a roadie to Washington. Tampa Bay goes to Dallas this week. Just saying, Dallas has been playing better. They go to Dallas this week. Then they finish with the Panthers and the Saints at home. And they have a one-game lead right now over the Falcons. They have to win 2 of those 3. They win 2 of the 3, and then they're in with 10 wins. Depending on what, can Atlanta go and beat Washington? Sure they could. Remember, Atlanta swept the Tampa Bay Bucks. So the Bucks have to finish with a game better record than Atlanta. Tie goes to the Falcons. So there's still a lot of meat on the bone there. And the key to the entire division, the NFC South? The key to the NFC South is the Carolina Panthers. What if the Carolina Panthers go to Tampa Bay and dump the Bucks? What if they go to Atlanta and dump the Falcons? The Panthers, Bryce Young and the Panthers maybe hold the key to that division. All right, back at Command Central. Playing the players that matter, the stacks of wax, answering the phones, keeping us on the air, trying to decide whether or not you actually buy a Christmas present for your unborn child.
Baby shark, baby shark.
Hello, I'm looking for some horsemen.
I've got plenty. How many you need?
4.
4 horsemen. You know, I understand what you're saying, but...
Sorry, I got a little bit of a list.
If I saw myself in clothes like those, I'd have to kick my own ass.
Tom, can you get me a dog? For old time's sake.
Who in the blue hell are you?
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
What is your name? Detective. It doesn't matter what your name is.
And this is important because once you get that third one, they hit that little tank, get that heroic ability.
Satisfaction is guaranteed. So passionate. You're next!
So long, Nashville, Tennessee. You can't have what's left of me. And as far as I can tell.
So, Joe, do you buy a gift for your unborn baby?
Absolutely. Big zone deals. Absolutely.
Well, that would be a good gift to get for the unborn baby.
Got to save money now.
Well, because the whole family. Yeah. Buy everybody gifts from
everybody's getting big zone deals.
Well, the thing is, too, with the big zone deals, it is not specific to a boy or a girl, since you don't know if it's a boy or a girl. So if you do it from big zone deals, it would be a thing. So what you do is you buy a gift and then you give it to it, like when the kid arrives and he's 4 or 5 months after Christmas. Can you give the kid a gift then and say this was your Christmas gift? Or does it not matter because they're a little baby and all they understand is I just crap my pants?
Well, I mean, technically, depending on what your personal preference is, whatever I feed the mother is eventually going to get to the baby anyway. True. So yeah. True. So again, that's where we go with the big zone deals to like a full moon barbecue or something. See, I'm thinking. So yeah, so technically by buying something for the wife, especially food, it then gets to the baby. See? That's
genius. That is absolutely just so it's an extra gift that you get for the wife but you list it as being for baby hunk.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You just put baby hunk on there. We already know that you're not finding out whether it's a boy or a girl. You do have a name picked out for both sides, Thomas or Thomasina. Yeah. It's one or the other. We know it's Tom or Thomasina. All right, so you put on the box either Tom Thomasina / Thomasina, or you put baby hunk on the box. You give it to your wife. She opens it, and it works its way through the system to the little baby.
Yeah,
hunk.
like Bigfoot little donuts. I love donuts, and in doing so, buying a big zone deal, make sure the wife has it, then the baby gets Bigfoot little donuts. See, this is it's you got to play chess.
Really
on
a
this.
good idea.
Playing chess. That's exactly what it is.
This is a tremendous idea. It is a good idea. You know what else is a good idea? Our Doghouse Challenge. An opportunity again. Already people are hitting the text window and saying, "Hey, give me that link." So that they can get in on this Doghouse Challenge, and this is the one of the unknown little secrets of the whole going to a bracket scenario for college football and having an expanded playoff, Joe, is that we are going to have like this bracket you can see behind me. We're going to have actual brackets, which I think is kind of cool.
And what all does somebody win with this again? Because you were going through it, and I was trying to make sure that I get involved.
You score the overnight stay at Gunnersville State Park in a cliffside room, all right, and a $30 voucher to the Pinecrest room at the Lodge, which is $190 value. And you also pick up tickets to a future Havoc game and other chow. So it's a pretty nice little prize. This is a prize package that's worth over $250.
Again, I think that the wife needs to relax on it I think that's another spot that we could get for her as well. That sounds like another good one. Yep.
War Eagle is in, Mike's Hopes is in, Mighty Pound Cake is in, Talon is in. This is pretty good since we just launched it. So that's pretty good. So you guys go ahead and get on board with that thing, and we'll have some fun with that. All right, let's get a break in here. When we come back, a phone segment. All right, we'll open up the lines. You want to jump in? We got Justin Ferguson coming up bottom of the hour. But if you want to jump in now, 256-576-4977 to get you in. It's the Thom Abraham Show on Hump Day.
You need a lawyer and pick up the phone. I'm attorney Gary Lackey. When you call for a lawyer, where does that phone ring? It might be in a call center somewhere, maybe 100 miles away, but my phone rings in my office.
The Lackey Law Firm.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. My phone rings in my office too.
So does mine. I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. And when you've been hurt and need help, we're here. We're the ones who take your call.
And get what you deserve.
You want to talk to your lawyer. You don't want to reach a call center. With the Lackey Law Firm, that never happens.
The Lackey Law Firm.
And this is the most important part. We'll treat you like family because that's exactly what we are.
The Lackey Law Firm.
And I'll go you one better. If you can't come to us, we'll come to you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Flying nonstop from Huntsville is a breeze on Breeze Airways. They're nice people, flying nice people to nice places on really nice planes. Let's be direct. Nonstop from Huntsville to the places you want to go. Las Vegas, Orlando, or Tampa starting at $49. It's time for a weekend getaway or a long overdue week away. Time to check in using the convenient Breeze app and check out. What are you waiting for? Book today at flybreeze.com. That's flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Stan McDonald. Stan, tell everybody why you're the best damn dirt lawyer in North Alabama.
Yes, Wes, at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. You know I'm a dirt lawyer, and a lot of our friends know that, which means we specialize in real estate. Now, if you own real estate or you're buying it or you're selling it, you need to do a closing, but a lot of times there's legal issues associated with that. We're a great group to talk to. My son, Lewis McDonald, heads our commercial closing division, and we approach your real estate needs very seriously. We seek to be the premier real estate closing company in North Alabama, and we do it in such a way it shows that we're experienced, we're for your success. We like to handle your real estate needs the same way Coach Dan Reeves used to say, Never let them see you sweat. And that's going to be to your benefit, too, when you visit us at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. Our website online is jacobtitle.com.
Center. It is not too late to get on down there to Owen Home Appliance Center and get the complete Frigidaire kitchen. When you buy the fridge, the range, and the microwave, you get the dishwasher free. And if you need a commercial kitchen, they'll hook you up with brands like Viking and Miele and KitchenAid and Z-Line and Cafe. You got to see this interactive showroom that they have on Highway 31 in Lacey Springs, 8 miles south of the bridge. And 8 miles south of the Tennessee River in Alabama. You got to go down there and see it. It's amazing. It's amazing. One of the best showrooms for appliances in the entire state of Alabama. It's incredible. You'll love it. Talk to my buddy Mike Owen when you're down there. Say, hey, the big dog sent me. All right, phone lines are open if you want to jump in. 256-576-4977 will get you on to the show. West Virginia is going to pay its new football coach $3.5 million next year, Rich Rodriguez, which is, over a $2 million increase on what he was making at Jack State. But really, that's quite a deal. I got to be honest with you. That is less than what they were paying Neil Brown. He was making $4 million. The $3.5 million that they are going to pay Rich Rod is about 60th or so in the nation for college football coaches. It's right near the bottom of the Big 12. Now, we don't know what the BYU coach makes because they're private. And so we don't get to find out exactly what the BYU guy makes. But in the Big 12, where it just doesn't seem to mean more, Mike Gundy makes the most at $7.5 million, well, $7,750,000 for his 3-win season. Lance Leopold makes $7.5 million. Kyle Whittingham at Utah makes $6.5 million. Deion Sanders makes $5.7 million. All right, which is 38th in the country. Sonny Dykes at $5 million. Let's see. But Matt Campbell, he makes $4 million at Iowa State. Gus Malzahn was making $4 million, or she's now the offensive coordinator. Yeah, he didn't get fired. He's the offensive coordinator at Florida State. He left the $4 million head coaching job to be that offensive coordinator at Florida State. Yeah, somebody showed him the door. Where Rich Rodriguez is down in the Scott Satterfield at Cincinnati's making 3.6. Kenny Dillingham makes 3.9. Rich Rod's going to make 3.5. He'll make more than the Arizona head coach, who makes 2.7. Bruce Brennan. Pretty much it. Pretty much it. We don't know what the BYU guy makes. Now, in the SEC, that's a whole other animal. It would be, Rich Rod's salary would be at the bottom of the SEC. But in the SEC, 8 of the top 12 highest paid coaches in the country are from the SEC, where it just means more. Just the reality of it. Including the number 1 highest paid coach in the country, of course, Kirby Smart. Dabo Swinney, by the way, is number 2. Dabo. Steve Sarkisian is 3. Lincoln Riley and Dabo Swinney over $10 million. Yeah. Ryan Day. There's 3 dudes. Well, one's got 2 national championships. Lincoln Riley and Ryan Day making $10 million. What doesn't match the others? Mike Norvell makes $10 million. Kalen DeBoer makes $10 million. And that's different. It's different in the SEC. All right, Grumpy is up first today. Grumpy, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. So with your doghouse bracket, I guess that's online or what? I missed it. Okay.
Yeah, it is just the same. You already have, like, you play DFL, so go to that same site and look at college football bracket, and you just join the group, Doghouse Challenge.
Okay.
Very
hey,
easy.
now, you know what's a real challenge for me is why, with his past, I could understand how Michael Vick could get a job in the NFL because, you don't really care about his PR as much as how fast he is off the line. But hiring him at Norfolk State, is that going to be a nightmare for them? Or do we just forgive and forget that the man killed 200 dogs, and if the dog wouldn't fight, he had a drowning pool where they would drown the dogs by hand. And then you hire him as your head coach.
Yeah, he did 2 years in jail for it. So you say he paid his debt to society. It was brutal. Now, I never heard the number 200, though. I thought it was, was there an actual number? It wasn't 200 dogs.
When they raided the place, he had 47 dogs on chains ready to fight. So it was a large-scale operation. And it had been going on for... Yeah, they confiscated 47 live ones.
And remember, they said his reasoning was this is a way of life in that part of the country, that dog fighting is a thing there, and he didn't realize it was even, a bad thing, which was kind of ironic. But I wouldn't have hired him. I mean, we'd have to look at the skeletons in the closet of other college football coaches that are out there. I mean, I think it sends a terrible message. And here's the thing: right. That's a good point. The thing is that you're also hiring a guy that's never coached at any level anywhere. Shouldn't he be like a quarterback coach first, or shouldn't he do something? Because has he coached? I don't think he's coached anywhere. He's certainly not coaching high school kids or anything. I don't know. I thought this is a trend that's going to happen coming off the Deion Sanders success. You watch more and more because there's been more and more guys that are ex-players in the NFL. They're saying, you know what, I'd like to give my hand a try. You got Deion Sanders, and then who was the other one? Eddie George. And right after Deion took over at Jackson State, Eddie George took TSU, and now Eddie George put TSU in the playoffs, in the FCS playoffs. So now it's like, okay, who's the next guy? Well, now Michael Vick is a head coach. So you're going to start seeing this more and more where players who were, very good players, and in the case of Deion, a Hall of Famer, now Warren Sapp wants to be a head coach. He's on Deion's staff. You're going to see a lot of this now.
As a side note here, I don't even think he can have a dog. I know he went in front of the court twice and tried to get the right to have a pet because he's got kids and they wanted a dog, and the court looked at his record and denied the man the ability to own a puppy. They couldn't trust him with a puppy. And now you're going to send your son to play for him? I just don't get it. There's too many other people out there that don't drown dogs that could fill that role. I hope they never win another game. I got somebody to root against now. Thanks, man.
I appreciate you. Now, look, I'm all for a redemption story. I'm all for second chances. But there are certain things that you lose the ability to do based on something that might have happened in your past. I know this firsthand. I mean, there are certain things that you lose, and putting a guy at the head of, I know it's Norfolk State and that's where he's from and everything else. I get that. But there comes a point in time where you say, really? Just saying. All right, let's grab a break. We will come back with Justin Ferguson. He's next from the Auburn Observer on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Brought to you by G-Bank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. VSiN.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply.
NFL Week 15 will start on Thursday night when the San Francisco 49ers take on the LA Rams at Levi Stadium. The Niners are 6-7, and they will continue the rest of the season without running back Christian McCaffrey, while the Rams have won 6 of their last 8, got healthy, and now it's 7-6, one game back of Seattle for the division lead. San Francisco has dropped 3 of 4. The 49ers are a 3-point home favorite, -105 against the spread. The Rams getting the 3 points are -115. On the money line, Los Angeles is at +130. San Francisco -150 with the over-under sitting at 49.5. For VSiN.com, I'm Tony Desiri, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a 5th-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Rain and a few thunderstorms going to be possible heading into this Wednesday. We'll see high temperatures warm into the upper 60s for the afternoon. Could potentially get breezy at times. Wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour will also be a possibility. Heading into our Wednesday night, expect mostly clouds. Low temperatures falling into the upper 30s for the overnight. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN. The Zone.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Segment of the Thom Abraham Show brought to you by the Service Department at Woody Anderson Ford. Not to any service department. It's an award-winning service department at Woody Anderson Ford. And don't forget about Woody Anderson Ford's mobile service. Very important right now. That mobile service. This is convenient program that they're going to come out and change your oil or rotate your tires or do things like change your windshield wipers or your lights. Got a light bulb that went out. They can fix that on the mobile service for you. And if you're only available over the weekend or in the evening, the Quick Lane Service Department is your one-stop shop for service of brakes and tires and batteries and things like that. Doesn't matter what the service your Ford needs or other brands as well. I don't know why you'd want anything other than a Ford. But Woody Anderson ensures quick, professional, and exceptional service. They've done it for me. They'll do it for you. It's the only place I've gone for over 20 years in the Tennessee Valley. It's Woody Anderson Ford. All right, joining us now, the only place I go for Auburn news is the Auburn Observer. They do a tremendous job there. And, of course, our friend Justin Ferguson of the Auburn Observer joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Ferg, did you know that Hunk is having another baby? Did you know that Mrs. Hunk is going to have another? Did you hear about that? Yeah.
Yes, we did. And in fact, when Joe called, I let my wife, who used to work with Joe, answer the phone. And then we got thrown off because Joe doesn't sound like himself right now, so we weren't 100% sure it was him. But yes, great news.
Yeah. His wife was going to tell me congratulations. She's texting me right now, and I was like, Justin Hobson's like, oh no, I'm sorry, we thought it was going to be Joe, and we was going to play a prank on him, and I'm going, it is Joe. What the heck are y'all talking about?
Joe
you don't sound like yourself right now.
No, I now have 2 kids that cough in my face on a nightly basis, and it's kind of cold outside, so it's Joe gets sick a lot. Let's just say that.
There we go.
Ferg, he's up to 4 packs a day now too. So you can tell. She says,
they don't know as I smoke in this room. I don't even go outside because we don't even have windows in this joint. So I smoke in the room now. Like I don't even move.
So what happened here, Ferg, was they were so happy to be back, in the Tennessee Valley and back working with me, that they decided that's what happened. So this all took place back in the summertime when he found out he was coming back to work with me. Hey, let's celebrate! And they went and they did the horizontal bop, and the next thing you know, he was pregnant again. So he has assured me that this baby, which they don't know if it's a boy or a girl, will be either named Thom or Thomasina, one or the other, because I'm clearly responsible for the baby. So there you go.
Oh, man.
All right, let's get into Auburn in the transfer portal, man. Pretty active.
Yep.
24/7, they're getting ranked the number 4 transfer class so far in the transfer rankings. Now, I made a snarky post on X when Jackson Arnold committed and said apparently Peyton Thorne is out of eligibility, so they got Jackson Arnold, meaning that they were the same guy. But I was quickly corrected by my friend Tom Luganville, who came on earlier in the week, and he said, no, this Jackson Arnold is a lot better than Peyton Thorne. We just kind of look at the way Oklahoma's season went, and you want to put a lot of it on Jackson Arnold. But your thoughts on Jackson Arnold, what he brings to the table as an immediate starter at Auburn?
Yeah, I mean, I think Auburn's definitely banking on talent, and they're banking on, having a situation where they can give him a reset, maybe give him some more weapons around him, maybe get a better offensive line in front of him. That was the thing. He didn't play well last season in Oklahoma, but who could have? I mean, all their wide receivers were hurt. Their offensive line was brand new. They fired their offense coordinator in the middle of the year. So, the pitch right now for Auburn, I think, is pretty fascinating with Jackson Arnold, considering the circumstances. This is a guy who's a 5-star coming out of high school, really, really talented guy, good dual threat quarterback. And what they're doing right now is they're looking at Jackson Arnold and say, hey, Bo Nix was kind of in your boat a few years ago. And he goes to Oregon, gets a reset, and he gets to play closer to his potential. And obviously he had a phenomenal couple years at Oregon. I'm not saying that Auburn is where Oregon is right now, like when Bo Nix arrived there, but the pitch is very similar. Hey, if we can give you some more wide receiver talent, if we can give you a better offensive line, if we can get you a more streamlined offense this year, and we can just give you an opportunity to reset in a new place, we think you might be the guy to help us, take that next step on offense. And I think the thing with Jackson Arnold is, statistically, not a big upgrade from Peyton Thorne. Honestly, until John Mateer hopped into the portal earlier this week, I didn't really see a transfer quarterback that was going to be a clear, super big upgrade. Like even Malik Murphy from Duke had his pros and cons. So, I think Auburn's just looking at it and saying, hey, this kid fits our system. He's really talented. I think they wanted to have – I think ultimately why they went with Arnold over Murphy is the fact that he could run, that Arnold is a true dual threat while Murphy is just a guy who sits in the pocket. So I think it's a good fit. But it's one of those. All right, let's see if it works out. I think banking on talent's never a bad thing, but there's a lot of unproven question marks that we're going to figure out over these next 8 or 9 months with him.
Why a second quarterback? They're going to grab this Ashton Daniels out of Stanford, 6'2", 215 pounders, actually a little bit bigger than Jackson Arnold, a 3-star guy in terms of the transfer portal. But what they've got coming in as well at quarterback, why another one out of the transfer portal?
I think they wanted to have at least 3 guys at quarterback that they could trust next season. And, obviously Deuce Knight coming in, with his 5-star, pedigree, I think he's going to come in and compete right away. I think Daniels, they wanted somebody who, if something happened to Arnold or, whatever, just give him some competition, give him some experience behind him. Ashton Daniels, again, bad Stanford team, ran the ball well, didn't have great overall numbers. Be interested to see what he does in Auburn's offense. But it was really Hugh Freeze wanted 4 quarterbacks. He's got 3 now because just everybody left. Hank Brown's gone. Holton Gardner's gone. Walker White's in the portal now as well. So I think for Auburn, it was a kind of a situation where it's like, okay, we need somebody here because we don't want to go into the year with just 2 scholarship quarterbacks. And the other thing that makes Daniels kind of interesting, he is not going to be here in the spring. He arrives in the summer. He's actually graduating. He's got to stay back at Stanford this spring to graduate, which, I mean, if you went to Stanford, you want to have that degree for sure. So, he's not going to be able to compete right away. I think it's more of a depth option, some experience, a little bit of an insurance policy that they can kind of rely on in the fall.
Were you surprised that all 3 young quarterbacks left? Because, I mean, we knew that Peyton Thorne was going to be gone, but it's like, you get out of here, you get out of here, you get out of here. It's like they cleared the whole room. But Walker White was a 4-star that hadn't really had much of an opportunity yet to compete or do much. I think that in the case of Hank Brown, it was maybe a little bit over his skis, even though he was a big kid. And then Gardner might be the biggest, maybe of all of these guys, was probably the most disappointing that he didn't really pan out, because it seemed like when he came in a couple of years ago that he was a guy that really had an opportunity, in a future with this team.
Yeah, no, I think Gardner was the guy who was really recruited to run Brian Harson's offense, and obviously Harson's no longer there, and Gardner stuck it out as long as he could. I think he's just got to go somewhere where he's going to be a better fit. Yeah, Hank Brown, I think, I'm interested in the fact that he landed at Iowa. Like, I want to see what kind of, does he really have, what it takes to compete in that job. Walker White was the surprise for sure, and I think it was a situation where Walker White was likely not going to play at Auburn next season. I think Jackson Arnold having more than 1 year of eligibility might have made the timeline a little more interesting for Auburn. And I think also Deuce Knight. I mean, Deuce Knight's a guy who I think can come in right away and be QB2, if not, serious to compete for QB1 right off the bat just because of his talent. So I think Walker White was probably on the outside looking in for the next year or two. And so in this day and age, if you can jump in the portal and go get playing time right away, go do it. I think I'll be very interested to see what White does, if he tries to get back closer to home in Arkansas, if he has an opportunity to go start somewhere right away. Because I think for guys like that, if you're not going to start in first couple of seasons, maybe as a quarterback at a place like Auburn, go somewhere and showcase what you can do, and then maybe in a couple of years you can hop back in the portal and people look at you as one of the top options there. So I think that's probably what kind of animated all that for White. But I know Auburn would have loved to have kept him around.
Justin Ferguson with us here, Auburn Observer. All right, so talk to me about Xavier Chaplin. I mean, this dude here is a mountain of a man, 6'7", 323 pounds. Now, I don't know if the 6'7", if he cut the hair down, he might be 6'4" and 290 pounds. I'm not 100% sure, but he was a 3-star coming out of high school, grew into a 4-star transfer. A plug and play offensive tackle, right?
Absolutely, especially at left tackle. Auburn needed one badly. You look at, Auburn next season on the offensive line, you had really no idea what they were going to do at tackle. Dylan Wade's coming back. Jeremiah Wright can come back. Connor Lou, the center, can come back. But tackle was kind of wide open, and Auburn really struggled for consistency at that position, last season. So they go get an experienced guy who's done it for several years at a power conference school. I think you're right. Like, I think he is that type of plug and play guy. He's got experience. I know last year when they went and got, got Lewis out of the transfer portal from Mississippi State, it was, Percy Lewis he was good. He had good frame and all that, but he hadn't played a ton. I think a guy like Chaplin is different. They also go get a guy out of USC and Mason Murphy that I think is a swing guy. Could play right tackle, play right guard, left guard during his time at USC. He's going to have to cut down on the penalties. That was the thing that really kind of hurt him last season for USC. But in terms of being on the field and playing well when he's avoiding the flags, I think that's a guy that Auburn could look at as a starter, maybe at that other tackle spot, maybe compete at a guard spot. So really, really good for Auburn to go in and get two of the better offensive linemen in this portal, because they absolutely needed to have that.
Yeah, and the portals can be good for your depth as well. It looks like they picked up a few guys that would be necessarily depth guys or possibly depth guys. But give us your take on a couple of other guys that you got excited about when you see in there and you say, you know what, this is a guy that can help them.
I'm really interested in Darrell Robinson, the running back from UConn. There's a guy who averaged a ton of yards per carry last season, young dude. A lot of people may be wondering, okay, why does the guy from UConn end up at Auburn? Well, he played at St. Francis out of Maryland, the big powerhouse school in the Baltimore area. Auburn has really made that a pipeline, has recruited that high school really well, picked up several guys in this past class from there. So they had a prior relationship there with Darrell Robinson. I like how he fits in that running back room. They've got Jeremiah Cobb coming back, got Amari Austin. They added Alvin Henderson from Elba. But they don't really have one big kind of bruiser type of back there. And I think Darrell Robinson, checks a lot of those boxes. So really, really like his pickup. And then another one they got today, I think, is one that stands out to me. Dallas Walker, the fourth guy who played some at Texas A&M, has that relationship with DJ Durkin, went to Western Kentucky last year and was a really good Conference USA level defensive tackle. Auburn has a lot of young talent in the trenches moving forward, but they don't have that big nose tackle right now, that experienced nose tackle. They go and get Walker. He's a 320-pound kid, played a good bit of football, played in the SEC before. So I think that's a really good pickup that they needed to have.
Justin Ferguson with us here. All right, before I let you go, all of the computers have Auburn number 1 in the country basketball-wise. The poll has them number 2 to Tennessee. We're 10 games in, all right? So it's not like we haven't started league play yet in the most difficult and best college basketball conference in the land. So there is that, and we don't want to get too excited, but it's pretty exciting stuff to see them at this point in time doing what they have done in this schedule, and with the holiday stuff that is coming up, and then we get into the league play. But this is about as good a start as you could possibly ask with just that one close loss to Duke on the road.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think this is, if you look at KenPom, this is the best. This is the best a team has played statistically at this point in the year since 2011. And then all the teams that are kind of close to them, and that they all were 1 seeds and Final Four type of teams. So Auburn's in a really good spot right now. I think last night against Georgia State showed the depth of this team. Janiah Broome goes out early with a shoulder injury, and they're hopeful that he's not going to miss much time with that. But you're missing the best player in the country, for most of the game, and they still beat Georgia State by 41, and they score 100 in that one. So, I mean, it was just a game, I think, for Auburn where they really, really showed that, yes, Janiah Broome has been so good for them this season and led the way. But, I mean, this is a team that's got so many weapons. They're really balanced on both ends of the floor, and they continue just to take care of business, whether you're a powerhouse program or, you're a team playing a paycheck game. I think it was really telling that they handled Ohio State and Atlanta last weekend with about the same level of attention to detail and domination as they did, when they played Georgia State and Richmond here these last couple of games at home.
No doubt about it. Always a pleasure. Justin Ferguson has been our guest. Check out the Auburn Observer. You guys got some kind of Christmas special going on, right? This would be a great gift, a stocking stuffer, something like that, and it's something you can do instantaneous. Tell them how they can get it and what the deal is.
Yeah, auburnobserver.com. We're doing a deal for $5 a month, or you can go $50 for your first year. That's available to everybody. But yeah, like Thom said, it's a great gift idea. If you've got an Auburn fan, it's hard to shop for. give them a gift subscription to the Observer. Just go to auburnobserver.com/gift. It's easy. All you need to do is have their email that you want to send it to, and you can set it to go live whenever you want to. You can set the exact time you want the subscription to go through. So if you're having a holiday party, if you want to wait till Christmas morning or whatever, you can set it to go at that time. So auburnobserver.com, check it out.
Very, very cool. All right, so we're going to be off during the holidays. Got a couple of shows on Mondays to do the next 2 Mondays, but we're going to give you a break, and we'll look forward to catching up with you in January on the basketball program and what's going on with the offseason in football as well. So Merry Christmas. Don't get your wife pregnant like Joe, who every time he gets happy, he knocks his wife up. So don't do that.
This is awkward.
Yeah, so don't do that. And we'll look forward to talking in January.
Yeah, Merry Christmas all y'all. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Joe, you can't get your wife pregnant every time you're excited about something.
Look, look, man. We're gonna fix that issue. Okay, we're fixing that issue. Okay, we're not trying to have an entire baseball team. We're not trying to do any of that. We are fixing the issue. We went with a triangle offense, and we're just getting the 3 pieces of the triangle, and we're done. That's it. We're done.
I told you, hit the pause button on it just in case. 3 can be weird.
My wife.
You're gonna have a lot of fights in that bedroom. It's gonna be 2-on-1, man. It'll be 2-on-1, especially if it's another boy.
I told my wife and gave her that message that you said yesterday. She went, "Oh heck no, we're fixing the issue." I said, "Okay, we're just letting you know that's what Thom said."
Well, you can always adopt down the road. So if you need to, get a dog, get another dog. All right, we'll get a break. When we come back, we'll set you up for hour number 2. It's Thom Abraham Show. Back with more in a moment.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Lots of wise and well-informed car buyers wait all year long for this time of year because they know year-end deals are worth the wait. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. We've got 700 Fords for you to choose from. And if you've had your eye on a 24 F-150, Explorer, Expedition, or Escape, listen up. Come and see us at Woody Anderson Ford today, and you'll drive home with no payments for 90 days, plus get financing as low as 1.9% for 60 months and $1,000 in bonus cash. This is good, and it bears repeating. Come get your best year-end deal on a 24 F-150, Explorer, Expedition, or Escape, and you'll keep your cash for the holidays and make no payments for 90 days. You'll also get financing as low as 1.9% for 60 months. Plus, we're going to throw in $1,000 holiday bonus cash. The year end is here, and we've got the deals that make it worth the wait. With your good credit, these offers end December 31st, only at Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Bobby White, and I hope to see you soon.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
All right, coming up to get things going at the top of the second hour, it'll be David Moulton of Miller and Moulton in the morning. We're going to get his picks in the bracket challenge. If you missed it earlier, it is the Holiday Fecta. And for the Holiday Fecta, I put a bracket up there at ESPN.com, the fantasy site. It's labeled, the group is the Doghouse Challenge, and you can get in it. If you need the link, you just hit me in the text window, and I will text you the link. Otherwise, simply go to any of our social media sites, and you'll see the image there with the link, and you can get in. David Moulton's next. right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Mark and Henry McDaniel, attorneys at law, are proud alumni of Madison Academy, and Madison Academy is proud of them. They have served our community through their practice, through volunteerism and service on national, state, and local boards. They explain the complexity of critical court rulings on local media. Their successful practice has been built on integrity. Both are veterans of MA Athletics and proud sponsors of Mustang football. McDaniel and McDaniel, attorneys at law. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by the lawyer.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Flying nonstop from Huntsville is a breeze on Breeze Airways. They're nice people flying nice people to nice places on really nice planes. Let's be direct. Nonstop from Huntsville to the places you want to go. Las Vegas, Orlando, or Tampa starting at $49. It's time for a weekend getaway or a long overdue week away. Time to check in using the convenient Breeze app and check out. What are you waiting for? Book today at flybreeze.com. That's flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Starting in 2025, Ivy League teams will be able to play in the FCS postseason and compete for FCS football national championships. Football had loomed as the only sport Ivy League teams could not compete for NCAA national titles in. The league had long ended its season at the end of the regular season. Ivy League has confirmed with the NCAA that the league's winner will get an automatic bid to the FCS playoffs. Former Georgia and NFL running back Herschel Walker, chosen by President-elect Donald Trump to be the ambassador to the Bahamas. He will need his nomination approved next year by the Senate. Ohio promoted Brian Smith to be its permanent head coach. He was named interim coach after Tim Albin left for the Charlotte job. Wake Forest is set to hire Washington State's Jake Dickert as head coach. He replaces Dave Clawson, who resigned 2 days ago.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Big Zone deals, Big Zone deals, get your Big Zone deals. I may not be a great singer, but I am great at finding a deal. And I just came across the Mother Load. Just log on zonedeals.bigdealsmedia.net and you can stuff those stockings with $50 gift certificates for half price at great restaurants like Sea Salt Urban Oyster Bar, Full Moon Barbecue, Bubby's Diner, Coralejos Mexican Grill, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Lawler's Barbecue, Bigfoot's Little Donuts, Apple Lane Farms in Decatur, and Metro Diner. And how about half price certificates for the kids at Flow Trampoline Park or the ultimate virtual reality experience at Divergence Huntsville? Got a golfer on your list? Check out half-price deals at Gunner's Landing and Cherokee Ridge. Black Friday deals don't hold a candle to Big Zone deals, but these are limited, and when they're gone, they're gone. Shop now and save. Go to zonedeals.bigdealsmedia.net. Fill those stockings without emptying your wallet. zonedeals.bigdealsmedia.net. Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Elmer McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. This segment of the show is brought to you by North Alabama Mortgage. Whether you're in Alabama, Tennessee, or Florida, with your average home equity at an all-time high, now is the time to get with North Alabama Mortgage and get rid of that high consumer debt that you have. You know what? You overspent already on the Christmas presents. I get it. You overdid it. So what you need to do is you refinance your house and you use that money and you pay off all those high credit card bills, and away you go. And then when the rates continue to come down on the mortgage side, you just go ahead and refi later. That makes a lot of sense to me. And if you're thinking about a home improvement or a second home, they've got programs for that as well. Go to NorthAlabamaMortgage.com, learn more. We thank our good friend Brian Hammaker, who's been such an outstanding sponsor for us over the years as well. All right, joining us now, not only on WZZN TV, but also on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, my good friend David Moulton. David, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good, Thom. How are you?
I am fantastic. I need to move over here a little bit. There we go. I am doing good. Joe, I don't want to see you. Joe,
I don't want to see me.
I don't, dude. Jeez. I don't know. David, Joe knocked his wife up again. You know, we told him to stop that. And we don't pay him enough to keep having kids. But it turns out that he was so excited about coming to work with, with me that he got his wife pregnant. What are you going to do?
You really think that working with you was part of the train of thought during that next step?
Yeah, I think what happened, because it turns out the timeline is just perfect. You know, you go back, it was like August that they got pregnant. Oh, that's when you came back. So they celebrated that night, probably is what happened. And they're like, oh my gosh, we get to go back and work.
You think maybe they just canoodled because they said, oh, crap, I got to go work with Thom now. I'm not going to be home that much.
Nashville, that's for sure, because he still lives in the Valley. And that trip to Nashville back and forth got old in a hurry, but that's a whole other story. At what point in time do you dudes look at each other during a commercial break during the Army-Navy game and say, didn't see this coming?
Oh, I think 14-0. Looking around going, Navy's kicking them. And Army doesn't seem to know how to stop them. I mean, couldn't stop the quarterback run the whole game. Did a very bad job containing the edges. Yeah, credit Navy. Outplayed them, outcoached them, whooped them.
Yeah.
How about the fake punt?
Oh,
wow.
Stones. What stones on that guy, now, if it doesn't work, oh my gosh, I can't believe the guy blew the game doing something like that. But it was a great. How about the coach? I love the coach because he looks like the old man in the sea. He looks like he came right off of a Navy, old man in the sea deal, like he was on the ship all his life, and he called him off of the ship and said, "Hey, will you coach the football team?" And he did a tremendous job. And it does beg the question. And of course, we're in big Army country. There's no doubt about it. I get that, and we're an Army affiliate. I understand all of that. But it does beg the question: is 9-3 with a victory over Army a better season than 10-2?
11-2
or 11-2 with a conference championship and a loss to Navy.
Yeah,
better season.
Yeah, come on. If the cadets were being truthful, which would they have rather had? The ASC championship or beat Navy?
Beat Navy,
of course.
Yeah, I would think Navy, and so Army gets to carry that, or Navy gets to carry that banner. all the way till next year. And I think people forgot how good Navy was because everything was about Army and they were ranked at one point.
Well, and especially with the quarterback healthy. With the quarterback healthy. Now, the Notre Dame game, they just choked. They all the mistakes, the turnovers, the quarterback got hurt. So that was just an awful day at the office. And Notre Dame's better than Army and Navy. I mean, they are. But Navy's a legit top 40 team. I mean, legit top 40 team in the country. And especially on 1 week prep. I wonder, and we'll never know, but I wonder Army playing in the conference championship game if they were just physically just not 100%. And Navy, obviously, with a bye week, if you will, they were ready to go.
I was going to ask you that exact same question. Is this an indictment of playing the week before at home in a conference championship game? It feels a little cheap to go there, but on the other hand, maybe we need to go there.
Well, it didn't seem to help Army. We've seen it, Alabama and Auburn many times. They have a brutal Iron Bowl, and the winner goes to Atlanta, and usually they do just fine when they get there. So it doesn't necessarily. It's not always you play a big game the week before a big game and it takes something out of you. But listen, Navy looked better. They did. They looked better, stronger, faster. They whooped them. They give all the credit to them.
They did. They absolutely did. David Moulton with us here. All right, so we have our holiday fecta because our schedule during the holidays now is going to be very fractured. We'll be off this Friday, and then we got a show next Monday, and then we got a show the following Monday, and then we don't come back till the 2nd with all the bowl games and everything else and the holidays going on. So that's kind of our holiday schedule. So I figured that, let's go ahead and roll out a bracket for our listeners. The listeners have been jumping online with this thing, and I promised them that I would have you make out a bracket basically on air. With us here. So let's do this. And what we'll do is we'll run each bracket since they don't reseed. We'll just run each bracket down to the semifinal level. So we start with Clemson and Texas. This one is the biggest spread in it. Can Clemson be a pest for Texas? Does Texas get this thing? No questions asked.
Could Clemson? Yes. I am concerned about Texas. I don't think yours is 100%. They haven't really scored against good defenses. I mean, they're not putting up big. If you look at the SEC teams they've blown out, well, Mississippi State, that doesn't count. Florida with a third-string quarterback in an awful spot for the Gators. And Kentucky, when Kentucky had pretty much packed it in. Otherwise, Texas has been in a lot of close games. I was talking to somebody today who said, I wish I had a Texas result against a team Clemson-like. And I said, A&M? And he went, okay, maybe. So I think Texas is going to win because I think defensively they're going to hold Clemson down. But I don't know if Texas scores much more than 24.
Okay, but we're going to give Clemson the survive and advance.
Texas,
Texas survive and advance. All right, so Texas moves on. They would take on Arizona State in Atlanta at the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. And I think Arizona State, even though they're a bye team, is less of a challenge than Clemson is for Texas.
In theory, but this is my bracket's probably going to look differently than most everybody else's. I don't know about you, Tom, but when I fill out a March Madness bracket, I have a theme. This region's going to be the all breaks loose region or what have you. This is going to be I just look at college football this year, a year in which Indiana's in the playoff and Alabama's not. And I think if we're ever going to have a college football playoff in which we're going to have some upheaval, this will be the year.
Yeah.
So I'm going Arizona State.
Really? Okay. So
yes.
The upset.
Love the coach. Love the tailback. Okay. And think that they'll be prepping. They're prepping for Texas now.
So Arizona State which is, we say here's the upset. They're the 4 seed.
Yep.
So
even
Arizona
though they'll
State-
probably be getting 7 points.
at least. So Arizona State to the Cotton Bowl,
Right.
which will end some angst for some people because, Texas.
Well, exactly. Instead of those tickets going for $500, they're going to go for 34. Yes.
All right. So on the other end of this side of the bracket, Tennessee, which has the most difficult path of anybody in this thing.
Without
They're saying
question.
Tennessee fans are buying tickets like they're going out of style in Columbus, all the 50-50 in the open market and all that other kind of stuff. I was surprised they were only allotted 3,500 tickets for Tennessee and 100,000 seat Ohio Stadium there at the Horseshoe. And again, remember, the college football playoff gets this money. This money does not go to the school. The school will get they'll get the parking money and the concessions, but the ticket money goes directly to the college football playoff, split amongst all 12 teams. However, they only got 3,500 tickets, so they've been buying up the tickets in the secondary market like crazy. I still don't get the 8.5-point line. Some places now 8. What do you think? Does Tennessee have what it takes to carry to plant the SEC banner at Ohio Stadium?
Yes, because of their defensive line. And Ohio State's biggest weakness is their offensive line. So I think it's a very good matchup for Tennessee. My question, can the quarterback and the receivers make it happen? They got to get to 24. Can they do it? Even against Alabama, struggled to score. In some big against Georgia, struggled to score. Now, these are good teams, but so is Ohio State. Can Tennessee, against a good team, get to 24? Something like that. I think they're going to challenge Ohio State's secondary. Oregon challenged it and got it. I think Tennessee's going to as well. I think the defensive line keeps them in the game. I love Heupel as a game day coach over Ryan Day. That's my first round upset. The Vols plant the flag, 24-20.
Nice. I like it. By the way, the back number on that game is the lowest. No, it's not the lowest of all of them. Well, yeah, it is the lowest of all of them. 47. It's come down to 45.5 because people got to be going slobber knocker there and betting that one down. I still like the under. Even at 45.5, 46, I still like the under in that one there. All right, so Tennessee wins, and now they got to play Oregon, and they're going to play them on the West Coast at the Rose Bowl. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, Oregon's going to beat them by 17.
Oh,
yeah, they're going to score. Oregon's going to score. That offense, they're going to score 38 points. They're going to beat them.
All right, so so you got them roughing them up pretty good there in that one. All right, let's go to the other side. All right, so now the matchup then, your matchup, according to your deal, is you've got Arizona
all Pac-12. Right. All Pac-12.
Now, is that why you went there?
No.
The point was there?
No, although, come on, it was pretty rich. All the schools from other conferences who were playing in the conference championship games. I mean, we all enjoyed that. An AAC school in the ACC title game, and Texas, and Oregon, and come on, we all got a good kick out of that. No, it just so happens to work this way, and Oregon's going to win big, and they're going to be a huge favorite in the Natty.
Really? Okay, so you got Oregon over Arizona State there. Yeah, we almost had all 4 major conferences won by newbies, which would have been kind of crazy if it had happened that way. All right, so we go to the other side of the bracket now, and you get SMU and Penn State. We know about our boy James Franklin and his record in big games. We get it. SMU has been very sporty, hard-nosed team, but man, oh man. What about SMU? 28 degrees and cloudy is what they're saying. Penn State looks like it could be about a 50% chance of snow at Ohio State, but at Penn State they're saying 28 degrees and cloudy. What about SMU and Penn State?
All right. I feel as if I'm being set up by Penn State because I saw them a few times this year. But the offense that showed up in the Big Ten title game, that offense hasn't showed up for Penn State since Saquon Barkley played for them. I mean, they did almost whatever they wanted with Oregon. And nobody had really done that to Oregon this year. Penn State trailed the whole game, Tom, and ran for 297 yards. I mean, it's tough to be effective running the ball when you're losing. And they were losing by double digits a good chunk of that game. And they ran through Oregon. If that offense, their receivers made plays, Penn State receivers haven't made plays this decade. If that offense shows up, Tom, they're going to win a lot of games in this tournament. So I'm counting on Penn State's defensive line and 3/4 of that offense showing up, and Penn State takes care of SMU.
By the way, because you mentioned Oregon again there, if Texas does beat Arizona State, and they will be favored, if they beat Arizona State, does Texas have what it takes to beat Oregon?
You're going to have to score points to beat Oregon. And unless Texas finds a gear with that offense that they haven't shown, do they have what it takes? Of course. I mean, they got pros all over the place. But Dylan Gabriel, Quinn Ewers, that's a touchdown difference right now, Tom.
They can't D him up though,
but they get rid of the ball so quickly. I mean, Gabriel's release is Tua-like. It's tough to get to him.
Yeah.
I mean, Penn State had trouble getting to him, and they got pros.
So Penn State, it's funny you said Indiana. Indiana is in the playoffs and Alabama isn't. How about Indiana, Boise State, and SMU are in the play? Can you imagine what you would have got on the action?
And Arizona State.
And Arizona State. Could you have said, before the season, you said, let's see, Arizona State is picked last in their conference. Arizona State, SMU, Boise State, and Indiana make the playoffs, and Alabama doesn't. What do you that had to be 10,000 to 1 is what that would be.
And the person on the other end would go, in football? Or are we talking basketball?
Yeah, we're not taking that deal. All right, so now Boise State, Penn State's, they got a path, man.
You're darn right they do,
man. So now they get Boise State. I mean, if they're beating SMU, they're beating Boise State, no?
Yeah, you're on to something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now they're in the Orange Bowl. Indiana and Notre Dame, snow in the forecast, about 50-50 chance, again, mid-20s, but it's going to be at night, so it'll be dropping Saturday or Friday night game here. Does Indiana have what it takes to go all Northern Illinois, or does Notre Dame run over them? And we got to listen all season long, all off season, how Indiana was a fraud.
Okay, here's why Indiana could hang for a long time in this game. Their defensive line is much better than you think. Much better. They got two guys who are going to play on Sundays on that line. They're a line that stunts all the time. They make a lot of tackles for a loss with a lot of penetration. If you take a look even at the Ohio State game, remember, 2 special teams touchdowns essentially in that game. Ohio State's second fewest yards on offense was against Indiana. Indiana did a decent job against Ohio State's offense. Well, Notre Dame's offense isn't more prolific, in my opinion. So I think Indiana can hang. Problem is, Indiana's going to have to make big plays in the passing game to win, and I don't see it. And so I think Notre Dame, deeper, more talent, very solid defensively. I think Notre Dame wins. I do think the point spread, though, is about where the game's going to be. I think the game's going to be between a 3 and 10 point game throughout.
So somehow Texas ends up playing in Atlanta against Arizona State, and Georgia, which is a higher seed and beat Texas twice, they would have to go to New Orleans to play in the Sugar Bowl. I'm not sure I understand exactly that, but it would be Georgia and Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl. Give me that one. And by the way, we know for sure no Carson Beck, if not for the whole tournament, but we know definitely not in the Sugar Bowl.
I actually like Georgia for one game. They'll have plenty of opportunity to coach the guy up. They're already looking ahead to Notre Dame. I mean, they figure if Indiana wins, we can figure it out. So for one game, I actually like the backup quarterback for Georgia. I actually think the more he plays, the more he'll show he's not ready. But that for one game, they can couch him. And I want to pick Notre Dame against Georgia with a backup quarterback. I really do. But Georgia has found a way in a lot of close games this year. I mean, if it wasn't for the ridiculous play that Milroe and that receiver made, they would have found a way against Bama too. So I'm going to go Georgia close. I'm leaning hard Notre Dame, but I'm going to chicken out and go Georgia.
So you say for one game, which means you're telling me that James Franklin, who's won one game against the top 10 team, he is going to beat SMU, he's going to beat Boise State, and then he's going to beat Georgia?
Yes.
In the Orange Bowl? He's going to go beat Georgia in the Orange Bowl?
Yeah. Well, because he's got better players. Okay. He's got a better defensive line. He's got a better quarterback. Okay. I do. I mean, Georgia's got the better coach, but yeah, that's going to be the storyline of this playoff and of this year. Because remember, beating SMU and Boise State, he's not going to get any credit for beating. They're not going to get any credit for beating a good team by getting to the semis with the draw that they have. So that's the other thing. And instead, they're going to get their shot at the SEC. They're going to get their shot at Georgia. You still haven't beaten a good team. Now, blah, blah, blah. Yep.
So you're not even disguising the fact that your work with CBS, now the Big Ten Network, that you're automatically giving us the rematch of the Big Ten championship game for the Natty. You're not going with the SEC championship. You're going to Texas.
I said 2 weeks ago when I said a week or 2 weeks ago when the brackets came out, if Beck was healthy, I'd pick Georgia to win the Natty. I would have loved their draw, actually, if their quarterback was healthy.
I still got Texas and Georgia. I got that.
And you're playing it smart. The guy like me, who when he fills out his brackets and he picks all the upsets, that's stupid. We don't win very often.
And Oregon wins big. So Oregon is the national champion with Dylan Gabriel and Dan Lanning. You got Oregon as your national champion.
Hold on a second. I did.
I thought you said they were going to be they'd be favored, but not necessarily. Wow. Okay. Are you going to give me? You're going to give me Penn State in the Natty?
Oh, let me tell you something. I mean, if they beat Georgia. Listen, they want another shot at Oregon. They feel they screwed that game up. Aller basically threw a pick six, and that was the difference in an 8-point game. The Penn State defensive players have already said, we hadn't played anybody like Oregon, and to see them at real versus on tape, and they've already said, give me another shot at Oregon. Just saying.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right, instead of holding you over, so there you go. There's David Moulton's bracket.
But if Penn State doesn't get to Georgia, I mean, this season's a failure. I mean, come on. SMU, Boise, if they don't get to the semis, he's in trouble.
Yeah,
he really is.
To the semis, but I don't know that they go to. I don't know they can go to New Orleans and beat.
Hey, listen, come on. Let's be honest. No, we gotta look at. We gotta take the name off some schools this year. This ain't Georgia the last 3 years.
Yeah, but you know what? What did I say going into the SEC championship game? I think Georgia's got a case of the Alabamas from a few years ago where, you know what? They go through the regular season.
No, Tom.
They're going to get up for big games.
Tom, they nearly lost to Kentucky. They nearly lost to Georgia Tech. I'm telling you, they're not the same team.
I understand it, but they also beat Texas twice. When it's something big on the line, I still believe in Kirby and Georgia to nut up and go big when it's big. And I think that's the thing. I think they got bored with some of those games. And, Georgia Tech caught them by surprise. Good job there. By their staff have done a tremendous job. All right. Instead of taking a break, because we're already so close to the bottom of the hour, I just want to get your take on this. I continue to say that Kevin O'Connell is one of the most underrated coaches, if not the most underrated coach in the NFL. They're 12-2 with Sam Darnold. And all you got to do is look at what's happened now with Kirk Cousins. And I know he had the injury and everything else. 36 years old, going to be 37. They do have a quarterback in Michael Penix Jr. that's on a rookie deal, so you can kind of keep Kirk Cousins around as a backup. And your overall quarterback room is going to cost you about what it would cost you anyway if Penix is any good. But here, coming off of a win the Atlanta by God Falcons, one game back of Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucks, make the change, put Kirk Cousins on the bench, and it says going forward. It didn't even say in the release, this week. And it just said going forward. Your take on that, and are we seeing the end of Kirk Cousins, and can Penix do something here with this Falcon team?
All right, you threw a lot of things there. I'll try to make it quick. If you're trying to be Kirk Cousins' agent, it's difficult to find the team next year. First off, it's a $62 million cap hit for the Falcons if they unload him in some way, shape, or form. That's too big. They're not going to want to do that. So the likelihood is he's going to have to be a $45 million backup for another year. But if you want to unload him, it's difficult to find the place where he would land. If the Giants and Raiders are going to get quarterbacks in the draft, and then you just go down the run, Tennessee will probably get Darnold, and we go down the run, where's the spot for him? Okay, the Jets, Pittsburgh not going to re-sign Russ. It's tough to find a spot for him going forward. So I think it's another reason why he ends up in Atlanta. Atlanta, remember, you acquire Cousins, you got to take the contract. So I don't think they can unload him even if they want to, number one. Here's the key for Penix. He's playing the worst team in the league. All right, so in theory, he can get his feet wet against a team that would have trouble beating the UFL champions. And the big game is not this week. It's the following week. Play along. Do we think Washington's going to beat Philly this week? Because if they don't, then Atlanta's 8-7 and Washington's 9-6. And Atlanta's playing at Washington, week 17. And Atlanta can win, and even if they don't catch the Bucks, they can get in via the wild card. So that's the money game. And by the way, how great is that? Maybe biggest game of that week. It's going to be two of the top 10 picks in this year's draft, quarterbacking against each other. 5 games, 1 TD, 9 interceptions. I think he's hurt, and I think they're hiding it. But now they know he's hurt, and he's not going to come back healthy, so they're making the move.
Yeah, and I feel like that Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers, who have been sporty since Bryce Young came back in, they hold the key to the NFC South. I mean, realistically, we'll see what happens. I mean, that game, Tampa Bay at Dallas, if they can go there and beat Dallas, then they got a perfect path now to win that division. But if Dallas catches them, and then Tampa Bay finishes at home against the Panthers and the against the Panthers and the Saints, 2 extremely winnable games there. But if the Panthers can bite either one of them, the Falcons or the Bucks, on both cases on the road, that's going to determine that division.
I find it difficult to believe that Penix is going to go 3-0 as a starter, though. And I think Atlanta has to go 3-0 because I think Tampa will find a way to go at least 2-1.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I say. If they get dumped, by one of those last 2, I think the one that's losable is the one at Dallas. Dallas is actually playing a little bit better, and so that's the toughest one of the 3. The other 2 at home are pretty simple. So we'll see, unless Bryce Young and the Panthers bite somebody in the butt. And
I will say this: the final 2 hours of that Bucks-Chargers game, that's the best the Tampa Bay Bucks have played since Brady's second year probably in Tampa. They were from 17-10 down to 40-17 final against a team with a pulse. Tampa looked great the final 2 hours against the Chargers.
They really did look good. All I was concerned about was over 52.5.
I know you were.
That was the good thing there. All right, David, we are fractured the next couple of weeks pretty good.
Yep.
All the bowl games and holidays and everything else. So I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And we will circle back after, the first week of January and catch up with you. And by then we'll have national championship semifinals. We'll know what those are, and so we'll get you before those, and certainly the NFL playoff picture will be set as well. So
you could mock me for Penn State losing to SMU and me riding James Franklin. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of material you could have from me by then.
I really hope that doesn't happen. I'll be totally honest with you. I mean, I've always been a fan James. He's a good guy. Was very welcoming to me back in the day when he was winning in Nashville, and I was up there, and I want him to do well, but I just I don't think I don't know how they get through Georgia, but we'll see.
But I appreciate your well wishes. A Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year to all of your listeners, and be well, be safe, have fun, and let's talk in a couple.
All right, man. We'll do it. Thank you.
All right, and John, congratulations.
Joe, but yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry, the email I got from John.
Oh, that was because I think he's using John's. He was using John's.
No, you are right. I'm actually using one of his son's emails, and it makes sense for an Abraham to be pregnant. But it is
totally.
Yeah,
I know he was. At first, I was like, "What do you mean? An Abraham having another kid is a shocking development." I thought it was like a law.
It is. When they shake hands at places,
right? I mean, it's the old Jim Gaffigan line. My wife gets pregnant when I look at her. Right.
Yeah.
He stole that from Thom.
No, I always said that when I make love to my wife, my neighbors get pregnant, but that's a whole nother story. Only one of my sons so far has procreated. Joe has 5 kids, and the other 3 knuckleheads are, I don't know what they're doing, but, we'll get them going. All right.
Well, anyway, congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Be good.
All right, thanks. David Moulton. All right, you can catch him, Miller and Moulton, by the way, every morning, 5 to 7. You can catch him right over there on Talk Radio WZZN. All right, we're going to break in here. We are opening lines the rest of the way. I owe you an update on the Friday trifecta point standings, and we'll try and get that in here as well. I'm Thom Abraham. Back with more right after this.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Looking for your next adventure to be out of this world but don't have enough money to buy a spaceship and leave orbit? Well, look no further than Divergence VR theme park off of Governor's Drive Southwest in Huntsville, Alabama. Are zombies more your style? How about driving your favorite cars on the world's fastest track? Or maybe a gorilla game that has you climbing up tall trees to escape other gorillas? Wait, that's actually a thing? Huh. Would you look at that? For whatever adventure you can dream of, call 256-203-4128 to get your VR adventure started now.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
And welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. Glad that you are with us here on a hump day in the doghouse. Remember, tomorrow is it for us. We will have a trifecta for you for this week to finish off the first grand trifecta of the season. So the holiday fecta is a standalone thing. This holiday fecta is a completely standalone thing. And our final trifecta of the grand trifecta season, which gets you that VIP package at the Music City Bowl, will end with tomorrow's fecta, which will be all the playoff games. I'll tell you that right off the bat. Just go ahead and start boning up for that. It'll be the 4 playoff games tomorrow, and we'll have that for you as well. I'm still in the process of grading the last one, and I'll get you those final numbers here in a moment. What I do know is LSU Lynch only hit 1 of the 4 games, so it took a little bit of a knock. It's going to take him a lot of work to get it done. But I got a special scoring system in place for the 4 playoff games, which is going to keep everybody alive right to the bitter end here. Well, we'll see, how that all works out. LSU Lynch is up. LSU Lynch, welcome to the show. How are you?
Son, can you hear me?
I can hear you beautifully.
That was crafty right there. You get an A+. Yeah. I only picked 1 because everybody, look here. That was just garbage. Now, look here. How long does Stamp have to work in Alabama?
How long does what have to work in Alabama?
A Stamp. How long does you did mail? Did you mail my voucher?
Well, I don't do it. The guy does it. Are you telling me?
Okay, so we're gonna blame this on Belly.
No, wait a minute. You're telling me that you still haven't gotten that?
Nah, I'm telling you that right now.
I'm gonna just strangle that kid. All right, I will. I'll get after him again. I don't understand what the delay is there, but he told me that he had sent everything out because we send a lot of stuff out, but we have one guy in the building is responsible for that, and I'll just have to get with him again on it.
Well, it's no worries because I had to call the Cherokee Ridge and make sure, hey, you got that phone call, right?
Yeah, we got that taken care of. They just have your name.
See, look here. Don't look here, Yankee man. Don't think that I don't know how to work it. Hear me?
Yeah.
But look here.
I hear you.
I want to hang up with this, and I want everybody to laugh. You like AC/DC, don't you?
A little bit. Not a huge AC/DC fan, but a little bit.
You're not a big fan. Look here.
Not a huge fan.
I love the way that you do, your intro songs and everything, but look here. Here's the song intro that you need to do. Sink the Pink. Go LSU.
There you go. LSU Lynch. I'm going to grab that guy, Joe, by the nape of the neck, and I'm going to have to cuff him once. You know what I'm talking about. The guy that handles the prize packages.
Yeah, I know.
Killing me. All right, let's get a break so we get back on our clock. Phone lines are open. If you want to jump in, you can do that now. 256-576-4977 will get you into the show. It's Thom Abraham Show. Back with more right after this.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This Action Update is brought to you by G-Bank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. VSiN.com/GBank.
Men's college hoops last night. Number 1 Tennessee improved to 11-0 with an 84-36 win over Western Carolina. Number 2 Auburn blew out Georgia State 100-59. Number 5 Duke over George Mason 68-47. Number 7 Florida beat North Carolina 90-84. Number 17 Ole Miss with a 74-61 win over Southern. Number 18 UCLA beat Prairie View A&M 111-75. Number 20 Michigan State over Oakland 77-68. Number 25 Dayton beat UNLV 66-65. In overtime, South Carolina over number 25 Clemson 91-88. Auburn and Duke now the co-favorites to win the national title at plus 825. Tennessee plus 1100. Connecticut plus 1500. That's the VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Electric cars are coming faster than you think, and that's why we're bringing SEMA Connect to Alabama.
Our team educates you and helps provide a long-term plan for your business. Where to put them, how to get them there, how to pay for them, tax incentives, service, and monitoring. We take care of everything.
Doing the right thing means bringing EV car chargers to Alabama. Let us help you with your EV charging plan.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you scheduled your wedding and even your child's birth around your school's game? Of course. But it means more than that. It means you're home to hundreds of Fulbright, Truman, Goldwater, and Rhodes Scholars. It means starting out as the birthplace of American public higher education, and now leading the way in unmanned spacecraft. This is the SEC, and here it just means more. What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That there's an honest-to-goodness chandelier in your tailgate tent? Perhaps, but it means more than that. It means pioneering medical solutions to predict new flu viruses. It means leading globally diverse teams to eliminate starvation in developing countries. And it means being home to one of the nation's top cybersecurity programs. This is the SEC. And here, it just means more.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Mostly cloudy sky expected for this Wednesday night. We'll see low temperatures fall into the upper 30s. Heading into our Thursday, we'll be seeing a mostly sunny sky. High temperature is going to be on the cooler side. We'll top out in the low 50s for the afternoon. We'll also keep breezy conditions in the forecast for the rest of this Thursday. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Steve Moulton from The Drive. Be sure and join us today from 5 to 7 with Wes Neighbors and me. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the show is brought to you by the Orthopedic Center, where thousands of area residents have received world-class care from the Valley's most trusted and experienced group of orthopedic surgeons and medical specialists. It's the TOC. If you have orthopedic problems or are considering professional care, TOC is the only logical choice. Whether it's a work-related injury or you got sideline playing a sport you love, you need the best care, the best physicians, the best facility to get you back in the game. And I think you'll agree that that is the Orthopedic Center. Stay in the game with TOC. All right, Joe, it took a minute. I got to be honest with you. It took a minute, but I finally have been able to get all of these picks scored. In the Friday trifecta. And there was some movement. I got to be honest with you. There was a little bit of movement here in this deal. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that Kyle kind of sucked a little bit this week. First of all, nobody hit all four. Navy killed everybody. I mean, there was like 3 people that had Navy. The Navy killed everybody. The Steelers killed a lot of people, okay? there were actually more people that missed all 4 games than there were people that hit all 4 games. Because nobody hit all 4 games. There were 3 or 4 people that got 0 points in this deal. 0 points in this deal. So the folks that are in double-digit territory right now, Jay in Athens has 10 points. Red Wine has 10 points. Bama Brad has 11 points. Grim has 11 points. Grumpy has 12 points. Kyle has 14 points. Mongo has 14 points. Auburn Mike has 15 points. And in the lead with 16 points.
We're going to bite a kneecap off. We're going to kick you in the teeth.
Is Wolverine Dan. Now, this weekend, or tomorrow, when we do the final Friday trifecta for the entire first grand trifecta, 4 games. 4 games. And we're going to have a scoring system that is going to allow a lot of people in, depending on how these leaders do. But going into the final week, you're all chasing Wolverine Dan. And he's up. Wolverine Dan, welcome to the show. How are you?
Well, what do we have here? Well, all right, Tom, let me start off my day real quickly, my friend. My 2 best buds, Badger Larry and Bama Brad, we went out to Cypress Lakes. We got in 4 holes, and all of a sudden, God decided to pour a bunch of baptismal water on us. We got soaked. So we shut it down.
Wait a minute. So who was it? It was the whole NFC North. So it was Packers. It was Packers Larry.
Yeah.
It was Bears Brad. It was Lions Dan. And and so you all got and see the Vikings are going to win the division now because you guys didn't have a Viking representative with you. God is apparently a Vikings fan, and he rained on the Lions, Packers, and Bears. Oh my!
You know what? I think you were pretty close to being right for except maybe 1%, because I was knocking down some natty ices on the way back. So that's kind of a cold thing. So it's like Vikings.
Well, hopefully you
With
weren't.
that said, you don't straight about retirement. I get back home, right? So no, I got my porch. I got a tin full of those sugar. What do you call them? Sugar cookies, the little small ones you get for Christmas. People get tins of that stuff. It was on my porch, so. I come home, from a great day after hanging out with my buddies. I grab the tin, open it up, a big glass of milk, and knock about half the box. And I go back to bed and I sleep for a couple hours. I love this life.
Yeah, good to be retired, man.
Isn't that great, Tom? It's a charmed life, my man. Anyway,
I don't know if I could do it, but that's just me. Yeah.
Kyle, look what happened, Kyle. That's karma, Kyle. What you did, bro, to wake up a sleeping giant. Look what happened, okay? And I'm going to double dip you because I'm going to get you again this weekend, all right? I already figured it out, all right? And then I'll do that other thing, that online, whatever, Superfecta, whatever you got going on.
Holiday Fecta. I got to get it. Yeah, the Holiday Fecta, the bracket, the Holiday Fecta bracket.
I'll get my little elf Ginger to work on it. She's got that nice little cute, Christmas outfit. Oh, you know what I'm talking about?
I hear you.
All right. Anyway, I'm on a roll, bro. Look what happens when you put a bunch of sugar cookies in the Wolverine Dan and a big glass of milk, baby.
A 1-point lead, and I'll tell you right now, for all our listeners, this is the ultimate double dipper. This is the ultimate double dipper championship or playoff fecta. All right. And the way it's going to go, I can tell you right now, you have 16 points. That's the lead, right? It's going to go 2 points for 1, 4 points for 2 correct, double dip it again, 8 points if you get 3 correct, and double dip it again if you get all 4 championship games right. 16 points, which is exactly what the lead is right now. So you better get a couple of games right because these guys are going to boat race you from behind.
Tom. They ain't no boat racing. They got a boat with a freaking hole in it, but they got a bucket that's got a hole. What are you talking about?
Okay.
I feel it, Tom. I feel it, okay? Just like the Lions. I feel it, and then all of a sudden, that was ridiculous. That's awful, Tom. You got to love that Lions team. Come on now. It's awful. What's happening? That's just a travesty. How do you say it? Travesty or something?
A travesty, a shamockery. It's a sham and a travesty and a mockery. A shamockery.
Yeah, I know. I should have got my chamois out. All right, listen. Peace out, brother. It's all good. See ya.
All right. It's a good job by you. Now we'll get a break. Come back. Wrap it up next right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show with Joe Hunk on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Next time you're online looking for landscaping inspiration, open Instagram and check out Southern Gent Landscaping. They can help make your yard your dream outdoor oasis. Southern Gent Landscaping can handle it all, from landscape maintenance and installation to irrigation and hardscapes, even AstroTurf. Turn your yard into a landscape you'll be proud to show off. Call Southern Gent Landscaping at 256-509-6088. 509-6088. Southern Gent Landscaping. Professional landscaping performed with satisfaction guaranteed.
In the Army National Guard, soldiers serve part-time and close to home.
My community means everything to me. It helped shape me into who I am today, and is where I choose to raise my own family. That's why I joined the Army National Guard. I'm proud of where I'm from, and as a soldier, I get to give back to the people that helped me succeed. The education benefits I got from serving helped me get my degree and jumpstart my career. The training and leadership skills I've gained from the Army National Guard help me every day when I teach young people, help my neighbors, and look out for my community. I know that when my neighbors need us the most, my fellow soldiers and I will be ready. My family loves it here, and my part-time service means we get to stay here.
Serve part-time in the community you live in as a proud member of the Army National Guard. Talk to your local recruiter or visit nationalguard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
No other radio station in Alabama has 2 voters for the Heisman Trophy.
Winner of the Heisman Memorial Trophy is...
Listen to Steve Moulton and Scott Tyson. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Final segment, 2-minute warning brought to you by Minuteman Press. Putting ink on paper, it's Minuteman Press. They do a tremendous job. They can do a great job for you as well. Minuteman Press. All right, for those of you that beat me and beat the big dog, okay, and that goes all the way back to Mr. Styles, who got me early on. Mr. Styles, Mongo, Jeremy, okay, Porch Dog, Seth, and Bama Big Rick. I need your email addresses so we can get you your tickets to the Music City Bowl. All right, so if you're listening, get me your email addresses so I can get you. I know that Bama, Brad, and Wolverine Dan said to give theirs tickets away, which we did in at the Christmas party earlier this week. But the rest of y'all got to give me. I think I have Mongo's. But if you haven't, I think I have Seth's. I'm pretty sure I have Seth's. If you haven't, though, sent me your email, just go ahead and send me your email address so we can get these tickets sent up. We have the tickets, and we need to get them sent to you. Those of you that beat me beat the big dog, all right? So Styles, Mongo, Jeremy, Brad, I know about Brad and Wolverine Dan, Porch Dog, Seth, and Bama Big Rick, and we'll get that straightened up for you. I don't know if you saw this last night, but the Milwaukee Bucks beat Oklahoma City for the NBA Cup. And so there's like champagne and goggles and plastic covering the lockers back in the locker room. And Darvin Ham said, "Nah, we're good. Nah, we're good." They just left the champagne on ice. They put the NBA put champagne, and they all had goggles. All the goggles were laid out. You know, because you can't have champagne in your eyes anymore. It used to be something, you know, they cover all the plastic covering all the lockers and everything else. It used to be something that was authentic and generic, you know, and the lockers everything would get wet in there, and the people would get wet in your eye. You'd get champagne in your eye. If the champagne isn't burning in your eyes, are you really celebrating a championship? So now everybody they got sponsors for the goggles. They got like Oakley goggles and things like that. And they had to Moet champagne, Moet, I don't know what they call it, champagne.
Mullet champagne, it's called Budweiser, Tom.
Yeah, mullet champagne. And so the team gets back to the locker room. They didn't even crack one bottle. They're like, "No, we're good. Yeah, we won the NBA Cup. Nice. When's our next game?" You don't do champagne and goggles unless it's the last game of the season. Like, unless you're done and you don't play again until the next season starts. That's where the champagne and the goggles comes in. I don't even like champagne and goggles in baseball for winning a division or winning a wild card game. I don't like any of it. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Feinbaum is next. For Joe, I'm Tom. Have a great day, everybody.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Starting in 2025, Ivy League teams will be able to play in the FCS postseason and compete for FCS football national championships. Football